You want to build a Hausa internet, like, that is far from, I think you are part of the problem of this country. We're not reinventing anything. We are simply saying, let's provide platforms that can offer services and resources to a demography that is generally considered as, for lack of a better word, ill-equipped. But like the senator said, there are countries that have fully operational, full practical ecosystems that have nothing to do with English. Now, what is the general population of native Hausa speakers? Close to 90 million. If you merge the populations of Netherlands, which is the most digitally literate country in Europe, and South Korea, which is the most digitally literate country in Asia, they're not up to 90 million. As a matter of fact, I think they're under 70 million. But yet, they measure digital literacy in the 90s, 90%. So, I believe it doesn't have to be about speaking English. It has more to do with being able to use. So if I can teach you to find your way around the digital space, where you can be a digital citizen, compete digitally because you are able to use, I think I can say boldly you are not an illiterate. Rather, I'll say you're digitally literate. So the transformative benefits of a digital ecosystem, these are very obvious. These are the obvious benefits of creating an all-Hausa digital ecosystem: inclusion, digital inclusion, economic growth, educational advancements. Educational outcomes would be greatly enhanced if things were being done through digital spaces. Job creation, number one. Job creation, we know, is what will help address the issues of restiveness, vulnerability. The young people that should be doing something productive find themselves joining, terrorism, banditry, and so on and so forth. So if I give someone productive engagement, learn how to do something in first language, I believe I'm doing you a great service, because you are no longer open to the ills that will cause you harm. Improved communication, access to emerging technology. We know the rate at which technology is developing. AI is moving at a mad speed. Things that used to take us hours to do, even as developers, even as platform designers, even as graphic artists, with a single prompt, with 3 sentences, you can be able to create a fully functional website. However, prompt engineering still exists very much in English space. So we need to devise a way to strategically teach prompt engineering to Hausa speakers, so that all of us can benefit from what AI is doing in the world today. And cultural preservation. This is us using digital platforms to push our content in our language, hence giving it a lifelong stance in the world. Next slide, please. So like I said, the emerging digital ecosystem will encompass a comprehensive digital environment where services, content, and tools are developed and accessible in Hausa. Next slide. It will integrate various digital elements such as e-commerce platforms, educational resources, social media, mobile applications, and government services, all tailored to meet the needs of Hausa-speaking users. Meaning, we're not creating a Hausa internet. What we're doing is creating platforms in Hausa language that will make Hausa-speaking users be able to access these kind of services. Next slide, please. I want to give out a list of what, and these are the obvious examples that can come out in Hausa language. Examples of platforms that will come out and thrive productively in Hausa language. E-learning platforms. You have Udemy. That is in English. A Hausa Udemy would make sense. I actually have built, boastfully, my startup, koyakaiya.com, is the first 100% digital learning platform available in Hausa language. We're teaching digital skills, we're teaching end user skills, we're teaching soft skills to Hausa speaking users. But they need to understand that the skills gap is very wide, the disparity is huge. However, the bottom line is you are learning in first language. What better way for me to communicate something technical to you other than using a language that you did not learn to speak? You understand the concept here? So if I'm teaching you how to use Microsoft Word in Hausa, all I need to do is explain to you processes, labels, and tabs. Of course, where we're going to is some days, some people will make the investments and develop software using Hausa APIs. You want a Microsoft Word that has Hausa interface. But let's start from what is available. Let's give websites that can allow for interaction because you are able to read in Hausa. Online marketplaces, the profitability there is huge. Social networking, we know the kind of money Mark Zuckerberg made from Facebook. Imagine a Hausa Facebook. And surprisingly, even the folks that are, generally regarded as illiterate because they don't speak English have Facebook accounts. Yet Facebook doesn't have a Hausa interface. Neither does TikTok. Everybody has TikTok as long as they have a phone and they are below the age of, say, 25. They've got a TikTok account, they've got a Facebook account. So they interact socially. Grow these numbers if you make these platforms available in their first language of communication. So people don't struggle anymore. The learning curve is close to zero. You just jump in and you're able to navigate your way around these platforms. Video and audio streaming platforms. The Spotifys, the YouTubes, they make so much money, they're dashing money for you to come on their platforms. Fintech and finance. OPay today, the OPay that everybody knows, OPay will hit $6 billion in valuation by the end of 2024. $6 billion. That's unicorn status. A unicorn is any web platform or mobile platform that hits $1 billion in less than 10 years. You are regarded a unicorn. We've got Nigerian fintech companies doing it in 6 years, in less than 6 years. Very laudable, very laudable. Now, Arewa, look within. Imagine if there was an OPay that started off in Hausa. OPay has a total customer base of 51 million. And what they did, their strategy was to target the unbanked so that just on the go, immediately you have access to banking services. Now, imagine an OPay in Hausa. That's huge. That's attractive. Health and wellness, job searching and freelancing, research repositories, Islamic lifestyle applications. Allow me to shed some light on this. Please, who in this room has Muslim Pro installed in their phone? Please just look around. Wherever you're seated, just look around you. Like half the room has Muslim Pro installed on their phones. And you use Muslim Pro to generally enhance your life as a Muslim. It helps you in your recitation. You can choose the person, the voice you want to listen to your recitations from. It helps you keep tab of your prayers. It teaches you about hadith. It teaches you about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's all in your hand. Muslim Pro worldwide has 160 million subscribers. 160 million subscribers. And assuming and Muslim Pro, their premium package is 1,700 naira a month, right? If you didn't know, I'm sharing that with you. So imagine of this 160 million, only a million, because this is worldwide, only a million subscribe to the premium service. That's 1 million times 1,700 every month. So from subscriptions alone, they're looking at almost 2 billion naira without doing much. Just keep it real and keep giving the content that you think your subscribers want. Of course, the next obvious question is, what of a Muslim Pro in Hausa? The first person that would develop that and make it real, I did tell you, you will hammer, because we know what sells in our demography. There were some other guys. So, my slides. Okay. So, content creator support, government services, real estate, language enhancement. If you know Duolingo, imagine a Duolingo in Hausa, gamified language learning. Crazy. Even what the senator was saying, that people stray too far away from being one Nigeria. We can create platforms that make the other tribes come closer to us. I guess that's a possibility we can consider. If there's a Duolingo that helps you learn how to speak Hausa with gamification and how you can, enhance communication in another language, I think it would do more to attract than to cause disparity. Very quickly, I want to do 3 minutes. So this is why we're here. This is why we are gathered here. Arewa Rising, as an initiative that is pushing for the advancement and creation of a digital ecosystem, has identified the #1 challenge to this dream of ours as skills. We all agree, skills. The digital ecosystem, the people that it is being built for, do they have the skills to participate in this space? The honest answer is no. However, we can accelerate learning through innovation. First of all, because it's in first language, it makes it more attractive. Nobody is afraid of learning to use a computer. You ask somebody, computer, which is already a barrier to inclusion. But this breaks the language barrier, and it's, I believe, the most innovative way we can do this. The workforce I am looking to build to help us create this digital ecosystem, I am going to source, in fact, I am sourcing it from within Arewa itself. I have taken on, move with the slides, I have taken on my phase 1, we did an open invite. If you are looking to advance your skills in first language Hausa, apply, come on board, and see what is possible for you. And we got, in one week, we got 340 applicants. 340 applicants. And this was not done mainstream. This was done through family and friends. We didn't have the money to do social media marketing, so we just post it in your WhatsApp group, post it where you can post it, and we got 340 applicants, of which we narrowed down to 240, we put them through tests of proficiency and eventually came down to 90. So we're currently looking to graduate the first set of Tech Jarume by 2nd or 3rd week of December. But this is not easy. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot of resources. So part of the reasons why I'm asking my friends, my family, my mentors, the people that believe in this process is there exists what is called the Tech Jeremy Scholarship Fund. What we're seeking is to run this on a donor-funded model where we match a Jeremy with a scholarship. It's 30,000 naira that puts you through a boot camp of your choosing. We have 10 boot camps that start from digital marketing, running all the way to app design, everything in between. If you go to our website, www.arewarising.tech, you will have more information. So we want to run this for as long as we can. This is something that can outlive us. The impact and success of this is beyond our dreams. We will solve a lot of problems and we will create new opportunities. My people would share a few cards for more information if you want to donate. And it's easy. Just go to the website, go to the portal, do your bit, and Allah will reward you for empowering a kid somewhere. I will handle the wahala of training and empowerment and getting the person a device. So thank you once again for listening to me. I will hope to hear from you. And Hannah, I think Dr. Kole is up next. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. I would like to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Kole Shatima. Dr. Kole Shatima is the director of MacArthur Foundation's Nigeria office and co-director of the On Nigeria Big Bet. Prior to joining MacArthur Foundation, Dr. Shatima, I would let him speak.
Yes, better. Morning. How are you, Brian? Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are here. I'm very happy, very excited to be here this morning. And I hope that the presentation have also excited you about the possibilities that we have in our country as well. Part of the reason why I'm very happy here is that I'm just also being selfish. So I'm supposed to be at a panel conversation in the next 30 minutes organized by the Sa'amadu Bello Memorial Foundation, and I'm supposed to be on a panel on entrepreneurship. So I don't see any better entrepreneur and entrepreneurship than what Malam Ibrahim and his team have done. Congratulations for what you have done. This is a very exciting, very interesting work that he is doing. We at the MacArthur Foundation were definitely very concerned and interested in Nigerian languages. So one of the things that we have been doing is that, one of the components of our work is around investigative journalism and media. And we were very deliberate and very careful that we don't only support reporting in English language, but we must make sure that we have reporting in other Nigerian languages. And that is whether you see this in Igbo or in Tip or in Ijo, and of course, in the 3 other Nigerian languages as well. So we're very clear, very deliberative. Part of the reason being that we know most Nigerians have access to information through their Nigerian languages. And therefore, if we don't communicate with them through their own languages, so we are missing a very important segment of our own population. But we are also very conscious and intentional about reviving, preserving, and protecting Nigerian languages. Because if we don't do it, we know that the English language is going to dominate and obliterate many, many other Nigerian languages. So I think it's very important that we pay attention to the preservation of our cultures, our traditions, and one of that one is really through the support that all of us should give towards Nigerian languages. The other one, which is even a bigger problem, which is now facing us, is around artificial intelligence and large learning machines. At the MacArthur Foundation, we are very worried that there are 4 major companies in the world, all of them in Silicon Valley, all of them are in the United States. They are the ones who have taken the development of learning machines as their major project. What does that mean? It means that these 4 companies will now dominate everyone and everywhere, and they will dominate in the language that they are very much aware of, and they are the ones that will make all the tons of money that they have been making so far. So it is because of that it's just coincidental. When, I think it was last week or so, I got a message from Hannah about, or I don't know whether it was Hannah or Ibrahim, about these things. And I invited them in the public interest. Because technology is not necessarily neutral. The technology is neither good or bad, but what you make out of it. And because of our consciousness and the need to join,
it is with immense pride and great anticipation that I welcome you all to this important event, which stands at the intersection of culture, technology, and economic transformations. We gather here today to discuss a subject that carries profound significance for the people of northern Nigeria and indeed for the Hausa-speaking world. The role of government in fostering and enabling the transformative potential of an emerging and all-Hausa digital ecosystem. As we all know, we are living through an era where digital technology is reshaping every facet of human existence, from the way we communicate and learn, how we do business and govern ourselves. For us in northern Nigeria, this digital revolution presents not only challenges, but also unparalleled opportunities to empower our communities, preserve our cultural heritage, and build a future anchored on innovation and inclusivity. The Hausa language holds a significant place in Nigeria, with its speakers now estimated to reach approximately 120 million. This remarkable figure was highlighted in a communique issued after a one-day colloquium organized by the Department of African Languages and Culture at Ahmad Bello University, Zaria. According to the communique, Nigeria boasts over 70 million native Hausa speakers, while additional 40 to 50 million people use Hausa as a second language. This means that more than 1/3 of Nigerians' population understand and communicate in Hausa, underscoring the role of its unified language and vital medium of communication across the country. You know, if you go to Plateau, you go to Niger, you go to Nasarawa, you go to Taraba, you go to any military barracks in Nigeria, Hausa is the lingua franca in those places because of the nature of the conflict. Plateau State, or in Nasarawa, for instance, you have so many ethnic groups and you have so many people speaking different languages, so Hausa becomes a unifying factor in those places. So also in our military barracks, you go there, Hausa is the only language that is spoken almost everywhere, from the shops to Mami Market, in the offices and so on. So Hausa is a great language, and I urge us to really find a way of making it a language that is a learned language because of its importance and widespread. The idea of an all-Hausa digital ecosystem is one that exists, that excites me personally. It represents a convergence of modern technology with the richness of our language, culture, and tradition. However, the question must be addressed today is this: what role should government play to ensure this ecosystem reaches its full potential as a tool for social advancement and global relevance? I'd like to propose a framework for how we as government leaders can support and guide the transformative agenda through 5 strategic pillars. Pillar number 1, establish a robust drive without reliable infrastructure.
they will find, in terms of markets, financing, employees, partners, will be more limited. And in the last 20 or 30 years, we have seen an explosion in apps, in online financing, obviously communications technology like WhatsApp and other kinds of social media. But access to these digital tools is critical to be able to grow a business beyond one's community, to find markets and partners across a state and across a sub-region. And Arewa Rising, this effort, this initiative to reach people in their language and empower people in their language is critical. The U.S. Embassy invests a fair amount in English language instruction and training teachers in English, because that does open up a world of opportunity, particularly in education, particularly at institutions in the United States. But every time I speak to an organization about our English language training at whatever level it may be, English language education, I always emphasize that local language, local culture is so critically important. The younger generation will carry forward our culture, and they will do so in thank you. It's not an either or, it is both. And of course, most Nigerians speak 3 or more languages. Americans are not known to speak so many languages. Diplomats often will speak a few, 3 or 4 maybe. But creating digital space in Hausa will open up these opportunities for so many millions more people over time. The cost and the consequences of the digital divide. Those of us online were able to retreat to our homes, practice social distancing. Our kids they fell behind during those times, during those 2 years. And the loss of access to markets, to financial services, to education was really laid bare during that period. Digital force is something that will prepare them in-house for technology-driven world, fostering economic empowerment. One of the speakers earlier, I think the Honorable Senator mentioned, have created apps and other platforms, including in Hausa language, to make training available to as many people as possible, to reach them in their home language. To thrive, business, farmers to find markets, but also to find suppliers, to find entrepreneurs with whom they can work with, to expand their markets, get access to financial services, and to improve productivity. As Nigeria's population grows so rapidly, and I think a couple speakers mentioned the growing population, the demographic, productivity is so critically important. And so a Hausa digital ecosystem will increase productivity, and to these tools is more likely to be able, he or she is more likely to be able to create jobs, 10 jobs, 100 jobs, 1,000 jobs, which is so critically important in all of these communities. And we know that the government is pushing to make Nigeria a global outsourcing destination, and digital inclusion will greatly accelerate that effort, so that the talent and expertise in Nigeria I've met a number of entrepreneurs here and in Lagos and in Kano that have clients and customers and partners in the United States, in Europe, and elsewhere, doing coding or doing other kinds of customer service or other kinds of digital activities. I'll also mention digital access can improve and should improve essential public services. We're working with a number of sectors, including in healthcare. Telemedicine has great potential. There are not health clinics adequately positioned to provide health services to the vast majority of Nigerians, particularly living in Hausa potential in so many parts of Nigeria. I mentioned our thousands of alumni in Dutse, soon in Zaria, in Sokoto, Maiduguri. Do is in English, but of course we also do programming in Hausa because we want to reach those audiences, and this effort will certainly greatly expand our access to those audiences. I'll mention one final thing, and Hannah mentioned Tech Women, a program that and panel discussions this week virtually at our American spaces. So those are two things that are happening this week that are very much consistent with what Arewa Rising looks to do. So I wish you much success. I will continue to follow developments and look for ways that we can work with you. And thank you very much for your attention this morning. Nagode.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the U.S. Embassy for their continued support in bridging the digital gap and creating an equitable society. So we will break for tea and reconvene in 30 minutes when the panel discussions will commence. Thank you very much. Please proceed for tea.
Manasara ce a gabanmu, da kwararru ne malamanmu, bajinta shi ne salonmu, yanci dogaro da kai takenmu kuma samun kuɗi ga rap mula. Koya ka iya, yancin ilimin fasahar ku ya samu.
Ina kuke 'yan Arewa, there's a new dawn breaking just for you. Ku tattaro fa babu wasa, 'cause this is where it all begins, it all begins. Ku garzayo ku zo da kauna, there's a new horizon made for you. Da ku fa za a fara taka. This is where it all begins, it all begins.
Ga bayanin koya ka iya mai ilimin fasahar sadarwa, makaranta ce a yanar gizo kuma dai mai daɗin koyarwa. Ita ce ta farko cikin harshen Hausa kuma dan 'yan Arewa. Darasan koyo daga fannoni 14 domin kwarewa. Daga fara amfani da kwamfuta zuwa amfani da masarrafai, tsara zane manhajoji sauti da ɗimbin kwasa-kwasai. Tsarin rayuwa da lafiyar jiki, har da nishaɗi dai koyan harka da kasuwanci online. Domin fitar da kai, yi rijista a wajenmu, koya ka iya a wurinmu, ci gaba ita ce manufarmu, kuma nasara ce a gabanmu, da kwararru ne malamanmu, bajinta shi ne salonmu, yanci dogaro da kai takenmu kuma samun kuɗi ga rap mula. Koya ka iya, yancin ilimin fasahar ku ya samu. A gabanmu, da kwararru ne malamanmu, bajinta shi ne salonmu, yanci dogaro da